Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And this is the book that I'll be reading from, Tales My Lama Told Me, by Pastor David Lai. The stories were told to him by our Guru, His Eminence, the 25th Sam Tuku Rinpoche. And today I'll be reading from, continue on from chapter 16, Endless Dharma Talks, page 172. So let me go to a picture. There you go. This is Rinpoche in his younger days. Right, page 172. I recalled I talked about Guru devotion because the students looked very devoted to their Rinpoche, and so what would be a better Dharma talk than that? I thought I was pretty good at explaining Guru devotion, so I talked about it from memory, without any text or scripture. I started talking, explaining, and after 45 minutes, I finally said, "Okay, let's do our dedication prayers." Rinpoche said, "No, not yet. Why are you dedicating? We aren't finished yet." I was shocked, as I didn't have much else to say, and I evilly thought that it would be better if he taught us instead, since I didn't have the time to meditate enough to have the wisdom, nor did I have the ability to ascend to Kachara paradise. Anyway, I found myself teaching again until I had nothing else to say, and again he repeated, "We aren't finished." Later I said again, "Okay, let's do dedications now," because I thought I heard him dozing off. The moment I said that, he woke up. So I meekly asked, "Dedications?" He explained, "Huh? No." This went on for 3 to 4 times. In the end, I gave in and decided to just keep talking. The moment I had the thought of letting to go, he said immediately, "Okay, let's do dedication." We are finished. Everybody applauded very loudly because they were so happy to listen to the Dharma talk. "Is this the first time you have given a talk?" someone asked. They then told me that I was great and that I gave a really good Dharma talk for a first-timer. The best part was yet to come. All the Malaysians came up to me and offered me little red packets. Initially, I didn't know what was going on because I had never seen them before. I thought they were some kind of candy because of the bright colors. They must have thought that unlikely all those pampered Rinpoches. This one was a starving little skinny monk who had no sponsors. To my delight, when I opened those packages, I discovered there was enough money in them to buy a return ticket to India. In fact, it was more than enough for me to hang out in New Delhi, buy a few things that I needed, and to take care of myself for a few months. I opened the I opened the packets and counted the money when no one was looking. While counting the money, I wondered when I could give another talk. In the end, what really stopped me was that I didn't have anything to talk about. Soon, the Malaysians wanted to see me again and requested to meet me. Rinpoche was so kind, he told me, "Go talk to them, explain things to them, talk, talk, talk." Little did I know that all that time he was trying to connect me to Malaysians. There was another time when we were driving around Kalimpong on a journey that I was forced to join. I had gone up to Nepal and India to visit Rinpoche for just a few days, but ended up staying for 2 months. My weekend trip became 2 months. He told me, "You're staying and you're going to do a retreat with me here." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm going back to Gandan because the abbot wrote me a letter to tell me that I have to go back." He said, "You're not going down. You are going to do a retreat." I am. I was speechless for a while. "You're not going to go down to Gandan. You're going to do a retreat here," he insisted. I protested. "No, I'm not. I'm finished here." He said angrily, "No, no." Okay, I finally relented, but for just 1 week. He said, "No, it's going to be 1 month." You don't understand, Rinpoche. I'm going back to the monastery. They want me back, to be back. I don't want to be evicted from the monastery because of this, you know. In the end, I found myself saying, okay, I'm here for a week. I mean, a month. So we entered a retreat and we completed the retreat with a fire puja. It was just so incredible. Every day we began early in the morning. It was so early that even the chickens were not awake yet. The meditations were done the whole day non-stop. We kept wishing for the month to pass quickly. After it was finished, I said, okay, Rinpoche, thank you. I loved it. I didn't regret doing it. It was fabulous, but I'm going back to Ganden now. You are fabulous, and may I meet you in future lives again and again. Now I realize that even with the knowledge of Dharma, I was still very resistant. I had been in Dharma centers for most of my life. I was resistant even to an actual guru who told me what to do, and I was actually quite arrogant. I was arrogant because I thought I knew better, not because I looked down on him. I wouldn't dare. But this attitude came from the thought that I always knew better. At that time, I always asked myself why I was doing this. I was foolish to think that everybody, including my gurus, had the same level of mind. In the end, we did another retreat with the same tough schedule of about 10 to 15 hours a day. During the retreat, there was a big fat monk who sat next to me and slept through the whole retreat. We had rice grains, so we could keep count of how many thousands of mantras we had completed. I had my little neat pal by my side, and he had his big pal next to him. But there was a problem with his pal. He wasn't counting the rice, he was eating it. There were about 7 of us in the room, and Rinpoche would come in for a while to watch all of us. The minute he left, it would be sleep yoga time for the fat monk. The whole time we were in retreat, I thought it was so unfair. The other monk who sat on my other side whispered to me, "Don't follow him." I was thinking that he should tell him and not me. I wanted so badly to take a picture of him and expose him to Rinpoche. But in the end, I couldn't say anything because he was the older monk and I didn't see any point in bringing it up. Rinpoche had a huge entourage of Italians with him, and among them was this really weird lady who was doing a retreat. She said to me, "Oh, I have to do this retreat very well because Rinpoche is planning to pass away soon." What she said gave me quite a shock because she was Rinpoche's personal attendant, and if she said Rinpoche was going to pass away soon, I took it seriously. She went on to say that he was going to take a new incarnation soon, and I immediately wondered where he would be born. She revealed, "You know what we have to do? We have to prepare for his new incarnation now." I thought that was true, so I pressed her for more. "So what else did he say?" She said, "He's going to come into me." At this point, I still thought it might be possible because I had heard about that sort of thing before. Then he said, then she said that I had to be the father. That was when my red flags went up. Realizing something was amiss, I just told her, "Oh, I have my mantras to do and I can't do it." Then it dawned on me what it entailed and I freaked out. I firmly told her no. When she persisted, I said to her politely, "Thank you for the privilege and honor, but I don't want to be Rinpoche's daddy because I can't afford it." She asked me one last time, "Are you sure?" I told her that I was very sure. Later, I heard that she told her story to a couple of other people. This was what you might come across when you are in a Dharma center. You meet all types of people. Don't expect just to meet people who float up in the air thinking how fabulous bodhicitta is and how they fly about in style. many people you meet at the center are plain weirdos. All these people who go to the center are weirdos, and that was certainly one weird encounter I had. She was quite an unrelenting one. After we finished our 2 months retreat, we went back to where we were staying and just chilled out by driving around. I really had to return to Ganden Monastery by now because the Ganden officials were getting a little upset. I had gone to Nepal originally to do just a few things and return, but my return was now way overdue, and I had to return to the monastery because I was commanded to do so by my monk's vows of obedience. You can't go against the abbot of a 600-year-old institution. That would have meant that I was going against the 3,000 monks under his command. The abbot sent monks all over Nepal to look for me. Of course, I couldn't tell them, oh, I'm here doing a retreat. They would just say, yeah, we've heard that one before. So right after completing the retreat, I told Rinpoche, okay, now I'm going back to Ganden because we're all finished. He said, no, you're not. Here we go again, and this time I didn't resist because I had learned my lesson the first time. He told me, you have to go to Kalimpong and Darjeeling with me. These cities are all in northern India, and so I said to Rinpoche, I don't have the right visa and the right passes. I was freaking out because there was no way I could get back to India that way. I would have to go back from another route. He just told me not to worry, but I tried to explain. But Rinpoche, you don't understand. I don't have a passport. I don't have a visa. I don't have any documents with me. He just said, don't worry. Exasperated, I replied, what do you mean, don't worry? At this point, I totally freaked out. And that, I will stop here. So we will continue on with my next sharing. So even with this, I don't know, to me anyway, I find that Rinpoche, whenever he shares his stories, it's always quite hilarious because by the way he expresses, things, even though that it is serious, but I can just imagine his expressions and all his the thoughts that would have gone through, and it's quite funny. So that's why, most of the time when Rinpoche gives Dharma talk, I really enjoy them because he would inject some funny moments, just to keep our interest up and not be in that lull, during that long Dharma teachings. And well, thank you for joining me, and we'll end this with a completion dedication in Tibetan. Jang Job Sen Chong Rinpoche, Ma Ke Pa Nam Ge Yushi, Ke Pa Nam Pa Me Pa Yang, Gone Gondo Pe Wa Shu, Toni Chong Rinpoche, Ma Ke Pa Nam Ge Yushi, Ke Pa Nam Pa Me Pa Yang, Gone Gondo Pe Wa Shu, Daso Jini Sapa Ge Wa Di, Tanandro Wa Guna Ka Padang, Jepa Jesu No Santra Pa Yi, Tamping In Porindu Sa Se Sho, Ke Wa Kuntu Yanda Lamadan, Drami Choki Pala Lo Choching, Sadam Nangi Yote Razone, Doji Changi Ngo Panga Tuso, Ge Wa Di, Yododa, Lama Sang Yodroyone, Drowa Chikia Malopa, Dei Sala Go Pashu, Choki Kau Posunga Pa, Chosu Nampa Pewala, Geki Samasi Wadang, Tunki Malu Sawasho, Dadam Sengi Dusundan, Drewa Songi Latini, Gewa Losantrapai, Tampa Yuriva, Gyushi. Ni modele sendele, ni mengonyan dele shi, ni sintato dele pa, concho songi jingilo, concho songi ngodruso, concho songi trasi sho. Jesu nama kusen rap ting ching, nam katrini chocho ke padang, losam tempe drome sap songi, droe mun satato ni gyushi. Gang re rawe ko we shing kam nem, pendan dewa malu gyo ine, cheren se wan ten sing get so yi, shape shi de badu teng gyushi. Sorry, home đông bình ngõ trù mà lù pa đến để đó là sao du so có đàn đến pa long chọn nó cái pa số shik shuk tên cell. Thank you for joining me, and please do join me as I continue on with that chapter.